Morning. Welcome to St. Michael's e-learning class of English class 4th. So today we are going to do one poem which name is Great Wide Beautiful Wonderful World. First we will see the introduction of the poet. William Brighty Rats was a well-known English writer who was born in Chelsea, London. He was the son of a shopkeeper and brought up in fairly modest circumstances. He was happy with his writing for children and was described as the laureate of the nursery. Rad had a great love of nature, and this is illustrated in his poem Great Wide Beautiful Wonderful World, which has appeared in the collection called Lilliput Lectures in 1871. Now, first I will read whole poem. Great Wide Beautiful Wonderful World, with the wonderful water round you curled, and the wonderful grass upon your breast. World, you are beautiful dressed. The wonderful air is over me, and the wonderful wind is shaking the tree. It walks on the water and rills the mills and talks to himself on the tops of the hills. You friendly earth, how far do you go with the wheat fields that nod the river that flows, with cities and gardens and cliffs and isles, and people upon you for thousands of miles. Ah, you are so great. I am so small. I tremble to think of you, world at all. And yet, when I said my prayers today, a whisper inside me seemed to say, you are more than the earth, though you are such a dot. You can love and think, and the earth cannot. Now, the first stanza. Great, wide, beautiful, wonderful world, with the wonderful water round you curled, and the wonderful grass upon your breast. World, you are beautiful dressed. So, here, children, curled. Curled means covered or wrapped up. Here, breast means chest. Now, the explanation of this paragraph. So, in this stanza, the poet admired the world and its beauty. He says that the world is so big, so great, and beautiful. He believes that the world is a fine place. The poet describes the fine world as a person and as a people are wrapped up in clothes. So, the world which is wrapped up in clothes were wrapped in wonderful grass, green fields, and valleys. Now, the second stanza. The wonderful air is over me, and the wonderful wind is shaking the tree. It walks on the water and rills the fields and talks to himself on the top of the hills. So, in this second stanza, the poet describes the movement of the air. The air here can be seen doing many wonderful things. The air over it shakes every tree, skims over water, making waves, turns windmills, and blow noisily on the tops of the hills as if it is talking to himself. Third stanza. You friendly earth, how far do you go with the wheat fields that nod and the rivers that flow, with cities and gardens and cliff and isles and people upon you for thousands of miles. So, children, here cliffs means area of a rock or mountain with very steep sides. Isles means Iceland. So, here in the third stanza, the poet wanted to say that you will note the wonderful world of the first stanza now become friendly earth. There's a shift from the world of nature to the world of man, which has wheat fields, rivers, cities, gardens, and people in it. Beyond its natural beauty is friendliness towards us who inhabit thousands of miles of the earth. It lets wheat grow and rivers flow for our cities, gardens, cliffs, and islands. Read the last stanza. Ah, you are so great, and I am so small. I tremble to think of you, world at all. And yet, when I said my prayers today, a whisper inside me seemed to say, you are more than earth, though you are such a dot. You can love and think, the earth cannot. Now, in this stanza, children, tremble means to shake with excitement, whisper, a soft voice, dot, very small point, wide, very large or broad. So, in this stanza, the poet idea is changed. The poet compares between himself and the world. At first, he admits that he is so small compared to world. But while praying, he hears a whisper that tells him that man is much more important than the world. As man has which doesn't exist in the world. Man can think and love, but the world cannot. Now, children, it's time for your homework. Now, what you have to do, you have to write 8 lines of the poem in your copy with the poet name, and you have to write the word meaning also in your English copy. I hope you understood the explanation of this poem. Next video will be the question answer of this poem. Thank you.